From us at 5, Fox 10 News has learned a murdered teen may have been involved in a robbery. And police telling Fox 10 News one of his partners in that robbery is a person of interest in his death.
A SWAT raid connected to the robbery investigation, ending with a deadly officer-involved shooting last month. Ariel Mallory is following this complex story. Ariel, police believe Jason Jones is tied up in all of this.
Yeah, they do, Lanice and Byron. During court testimony this afternoon, a detective said that 18-year-old Keyshawn Bellamy was identified as the driver during the robbery. Well, a few days after that crime, Bellamy was killed. Now, Mobile Police Chief Paul Prine says that Jason Jones is a person of interest in his murder. 19-year-old Jason Jones made his first court appearance this afternoon. Jones is charged with first-degree robbery, accused of holding a man at gunpoint and stealing 2 guns on January 30th. Jones's attorney says the victim's story about the robbery doesn't add up.
The testimony that was supposedly from the victim, I believe to be completely and totally fictitious. I don't think they had a valid search warrant because of the fictitious nature of that testimony.
A search warrant was carried out by the Mobile Police SWAT team at Jones's house the morning of March 6. During that search warrant, his brother Cordell Jones was shot and killed by a SWAT officer after he allegedly jumped out a back window holding a rifle. According to court testimony today, neither of the stolen guns was recovered.
I know there was a search warrant for the guns. The search warrant was executed. As to whether those specific guns were recovered, that investigation is a subject of grand jury secrecy, and so I'm unable to say which guns were and weren't recovered at this time.
According to MPD, Christopher Kennedy and 18-year-old Keyshawn Bellamy were also involved in the January robbery. Police say Bellamy was the getaway driver. He was murdered a few days after the robbery, and investigators say Jones is a person of interest in the unsolved crime. Detective Jamarcus Johnson says the robbery victim and his girlfriend identified Jones and Kennedy as the robbers. The detective says the girlfriend called Bellamy, who was allegedly the getaway driver, to come back and pick her up after the robbery. The detective testified that Jones threatened Bellamy and put a gun to his head for going back to the house.
Beyond reason that a reasonable person would get in a car with somebody that had just committed a robbery of their boyfriend at gunpoint. Not only did they leave, but they turned around and came back. That just challenges any kind of reasonable thinking at all of anybody.
Now, Jones's robbery was bound over to a grand jury. It is important to point out that Jones has not been charged with any crime relating to Bellamy's murder. Now, as for the deadly officer-involved shooting, the police chief and the DA says they won't be releasing any body camera footage of the incident. Jones's family is still calling for the release of that video. Live right now at Government Plaza, Ariel Mallory, Fox 10 News.